Hello everyone, welcome back to the course of Advanced Embedded System Design, and today I'll brief you about what embedded system is. We have discussed some aspects of embedded system in my previous videos as well, and today we'll look into the formal introduction of embedded system, various characteristics of an embedded system, right? So let's move ahead. So these are the topics that we will be covering here. We'll understand what is a system, and then we'll understand what is the definition of a system. We have discussed this earlier. Then we'll understand what is an embedded system. Then we'll look into the components, various components of embedded system, and the characteristics of embedded system. So these two things are new, and I'll move you through these two topics as well, systems and embedded system. Okay, so let's move ahead. So what is a system? As discussed earlier, a system is basically an arrangement in which there are various units, and all those units work together, right, according to some set of rules to perform a task, right? So it can also be defined as a way of working, organizing, or doing one or more tasks according to a fixed plan, right? It is also applicable to a system, right? So if we work together in an organized way and perform tasks, right, according to a fixed plan, then that is also a system. So for example, in a mechanical world, right, a watch is a time displaying system, right? So there are many mechanical components in a watch, and the basic function of watch is to display time. Now one of the components of a watch, if fails to perform its task, then the watch will stop working, right? So it can be concluded from a system that in a system all of the subcomponents are important and they are dependent on each other, right? And there is a very high probability if one of the system fail, one of the subcomponents of a system fails, then the entire system may not function properly. Okay, so that is what system is. Okay, so the points that you need to remember from here is system is working together according to some set of rules, right? So units working together according to set of rules, that is what system is. Okay, so let's move ahead with the embedded systems. So what is embedded system, right? So the meaning of word embedded means something that is attached to another thing, right? So there is one entity that is attached to another entity, and that is what the meaning of embedded is, right? So an embedded system can be thought of as a computer hardware system, okay, having software embedded on it. So there is some computer hardware, right? So some electronic circuit will be here, and this electronic circuit will perform certain task, and to perform that task a software is needed, right? So an embedded system can be thought of as a computer hardware system having software embedded in it. Okay, so an embedded system can be an independent system or it can be a part of a larger system. Yes, so embedded system can individually be a system like a digital watch, right? It's a small embedded system. But if I talk about a washing machine, then the electronic circuit of washing machine is one embedded system which is controlling the entire washing machine. So this is my washing machine, and there is one electronic component or rather embedded system, right? So this embedded system is controlling the motors of my washing machine. So an embedded system can be an independent system, but in case of a washing machine, it can also be a part of a large system. Also, there are possibilities of both of these systems, right? Now, an embedded system is a microcontroller or a microprocessor based system. So in the previous class, we understood the differences between the processor and a controller, right? So most of the embedded system applications will have microcontroller in it. So an embedded system is a microcontroller based system which is designed to perform a specific task, right? So this is something which you need to remember, that embedded system performs a specific task, right? So it performs a specific task, or in some cases it performs a group of tasks, right? For example, a remote control of a television will always be a remote control. So it's the very only task, right? The only task of a TV remote control is to communicate with the television, and that is the only task of a remote control, right? Okay. So the embedded system is designed to perform a group of a specific task or a single specific task. For example, a fire alarm, right? Fire alarm is one more example of embedded system. So what is the purpose of fire alarm? It will sense smoke only, right? And then it will buzz a hooter, right? Or a buzzer, right? So the function of fire alarm is simply sensing, and then depending upon the value, right? Whether the smoke is present or not, it will turn on or turn off the hooter or the buzzer or any alarming system which is associated with this fire alarm embedded system. Okay, so we can conclude this slide, right? So embedded system is something which is attached to another thing. The embedded system will have a hardware and a software, right? The embedded system can be independent or it can be a part of a much larger system, and it performs a very specific task. Okay. So let's move ahead and look into the various components of embedded system, right? So what are the components of embedded system? So embedded system will have a hardware. Okay, so this hardware is electronic hardware, mechanical hardware, electric hardware, but it will have a electronic circuit for sure, right? So electronic circuit uh, which may have electrical, mechanical, right, actuators, right, as well. So it's basically a hardware. Then it has a application software. So the two key components are hardware plus a software, right? Okay. Then it has a real-time operating system, also abbreviated as RTOS, right? So this RTOS supervises the application software and provide a mechanism to let the processor run a process as per the scheduling by following a plan to control the latencies, right? There are many applications where the system should be real time, right? And this RTOS operating system, right, will enable my system to operate in real time. So this thing is optional, right? RTOS defines the way the system works. It sets the rule during the execution of application program. A small scale embedded system may not have RTOS. So that is why I am putting asterisks here, because this thing is optional. Few system may have RTOS and some may not have RTOS, right? So the embedded system will have hardware, it will have software, and an optional RTOS real-time operating system, right? So now we can come to one more definition of embedded system, right? So we can define embedded system as a microcontroller based software driven reliable real-time control system. Okay, so this is one more definition of embedded system which we can draw from these right 3-4 points. Okay, so now let's move ahead and find out the various characteristics of embedded system. So these are the various characteristics of embedded system. So as discussed earlier, the embedded system is single function. Okay, the embedded system is single function. That means it will perform a very specific task, or in some cases a group of tasks. So an embedded system usually performs a specialized operation and does the same repeatedly. For example, a pager always function as a pager. A digital watch will always remain a digital watch, right? A television or a air conditioner room controller remote control will always remain a remote control. So an embedded system is single function as compared to, if I compare an embedded system with a computer. Computer is not single function, right? You can perform a variety of tasks over a computer. So computer is a general purpose device, whereas embedded system is a single function device. Okay, so this is one difference that you can, where you can compare an embedded system with a computer or a laptop, right? So an embedded system is a single function mechanism. Okay, so the next thing is tightly constrained. Okay, most of the embedded system applications are based on simple electronic devices called microcontrollers, right? So there are many constraints when we come to the designing of an embedded system. So let's get into and point out the various components, right? All the computing system have constraints on design matrices, right? That is true. But those on embedded system can be especially tight, right? So the constraints of embedded system are specially tight. Design matrices is a measure of an implementation feature such as its cost. So if the remote control will cost me 1000 rupees, or let's say 5000 rupees, then I will not buy a remote control, right? If the television cost is 20k, so the remote control should be of 100 to 200 rupees only, right? Then only people will buy a remote control. So cost is one matter. So embedded system, the cost of embedded system should be as low as possible. The size, right? Obviously, it's a small application, so size should be small. Power, right? Most of the embedded system applications runs on batteries, right? So when something is operating, when an application is operating with a battery, it should have less power consumption, right? So power is one more factor. So cost, size, power, and then the performance, right? System, in some cases it is important that the system should be real time or near real time. Okay, so performance is also important parameter. So these are the four design matrices that we consider when we implement a system. So cost of a system, the size of a system, the power consumption of a system, and its performance. Okay, so it must be of size to fit on a single chip. So this comes the size, must perform fast enough process to process data in real time and consume minimum power to extend battery life, right? So the four important parameters that we need to consider are cost, size, power, and performance. Okay. Now the next characteristic of embedded system, right? The first two characteristic is single function, it is constrained, right? Now the next characteristic of embedded system is reactive and real time. Okay, so consider an example of a car cruise controller, right? It continuously monitors and reacts to the speed and brake sensors, right? It must compute the acceleration or deceleration repetitively within a limited time, right? A delayed computation can result in a failure to control of the car. So it's quite easy to understand, right? We are talking about a car having a cruise control, right? And the function of cruise control is to monitor the speed, the acceleration and deceleration, and the brake, right? And it must compute the acceleration and deceleration in real time or with very small latencies. If the latencies are large, right, it will result in delayed computation, and that can result in a failure of control, right? So uh, these embedded system should be reactive, right? And it should be reactive in real time. So this is one more characteristic of embedded system. So it is single function, it is tightly constrained, and it should be reactive and real time. Now microprocessor based, so there are the embedded system will perform certain processes, and to perform a process we need processors. So an embedded system is basically implemented using microcontrollers or microprocessor, but most of the time microcontrollers will be used to implement embedded system. Okay, now memory, right? Since the embedded system, as we discussed in the previous slide, that one of the components of embedded system is the application software, right? Is the application software. So the software is stored, right? Stored in a memory called ROM. So memory is required as a component to design an embedded system. So it must have a memory, as its software usually embeds in ROM. It does not need any secondary memory in the computer. Okay. Now connected, right? The embedded system, most of the embedded systems are connected with other systems or with other peripherals. So it must have connected peripherals to connect input and output devices. So an embedded system, right? Suppose if I talk about an air conditioner, so air conditioner, the remote control of air conditioner is one way of connecting to a air conditioner, right? The display that we can watch over the remote control, uh, is an HMI model, is a human machine interface, right? So the embedded system must be connected, okay? And it's a hardware software system. So software is used for more features and flexibility, and hardware is used for performance and security. Okay, so these are certain characteristics of an embedded system. It should be single function, it is tightly constrained, reactive and real time, microprocessor based, it will have a memory, it is connected to various peripheral devices, and it's a hardware software system. Okay, so that is it, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day ahead. Okay, thanks a lot.